Hey everyone, I am Elizabeth Sherman from Total Health by Elizabeth, and what I am is I'm a health coach. I help folks ease into healthier lifestyles to create optimal health in your life. And so that looks different for you than it does for anyone else. And you get to choose how far you want to go with it. So today I wanted to answer a question that someone asked me, which is, how do I motivate myself to work out when I'm just not feeling it? And so I think first, let's start out with motivation. Motivation is a huge lie. We think that we need to be motivated 100% of the time, and that's just never going to happen. It doesn't. I don't feel motivated all the time to exercise and eat right. There are times that I feel like a little 5-year-old child and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But see, the thing is that when motivation is lacking, what we need to do is we need discipline and habit to take over. So how do you create discipline and habit? So that's really more the question. And I do have a tip for you in terms of what I do when I really don't feel like working out. So stay tuned for that. But let's start out with, how do you create discipline? And the first thing to do is to start small. So in this example, I'm going to use exercise as my example, since the question was about how do I motivate myself to work out. And so the first thing to do is start small. And no one ever wants to start small. Everyone wants to create these huge leaps and bounds because they think that they can do more than they actually are doing. So for instance, at the beginning of the new year, people say, oh, I can start running. I can run for, 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week. And yeah, they might be able to do that. But then what happens is they get burnt out and tired and their body starts to get sore and they just don't feel like it. So at that point, habit hasn't taken over. You're still running on this inspiration of what it is that you want to do. And so when you really want to create a habit, when you want to create discipline in your life, what you need to do is you want to start small. So what that might look like is, right now, if you are not exercising, you put on your calendar that you are going to put your gym clothes on 2 days a week. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Put your gym clothes on 2 days a week. And once that becomes, easy enough, then the next thing you do is you add on to that. So for the next 2 weeks, after you've had your gym clothes on for 2 weeks, not continuously, you then say, okay, so after I have my gym clothes on, either I'm going to go to the gym, and all you have to do is go to the gym, go to the bathroom, leave. I don't care. Just make it a habit of going to the gym. Or you can say, I'm going to put my gym clothes on and I'm going to walk around the block. Okay? Whatever it is. So then once that becomes super simple, easy, then you can start adding time to those 2 days a week, or you can add density to your week. So then say, okay, now I'm going to go put my gym clothes on 3 days a week and walk around the block. Okay. Or you can say, I'm still going to do it 2 days a week, but I'm going to walk for 15 minutes, or I'm going to do 5 minutes of ab exercises on top of that. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just add to it. And once you've slowly created this habit, then what happens is the habit takes over. You just want to keep doing it until the habit becomes easy. And then once it becomes easy, then add a little bit more to it. So at that point then, where it takes a lot longer, sure, but at least it's ingrained in your routine. So the other thing to do is when you're creating this habit, you always want to peg new habits to existing habits. So for example, if you want to start exercising, then maybe what you do is you put your gym clothes on at work and drive past the gym. Okay, maybe that's something that you do, or you're doing it first thing in the morning before you get ready for work. And then slowly, actually, that's a really good idea. Glad I came up with it. So you could start by getting your gym clothes on in the morning, and then every 2 weeks or 1 week, add a 5-minute earlier wake-up call to your day so that you're getting up earlier and earlier, and add some exercise in that way. So peg your exercise habit to an existing habit. Another example of that might be if you are not a regular flosser, like I'm really bad at mine, you want to peg that to something that you're already doing. So maybe when you're watching TV at night, or if you're brushing your teeth, you automatically floss immediately after that. Okay, so that's how you create some discipline in your life and create some habit around this this habit of working out. And that way, when you don't feel like it, momentum just kind of takes over. So now, given that, there are times when I don't feel like working out. Like, it does happen. And so what are the things that I do to try to make it happen? So the first thing is that if it's something that I just don't mentally feel like working out, and maybe my body feels okay, then what happens is I'll still put on my workout clothes, and I still actually start my workout. And what happens is I give myself 10 minutes. And if after that 10 minutes I still don't feel like exercising, then I give myself permission to stop. So that's my biggest tip. Oftentimes, the hardest thing to do is to get your butt off the couch and get to the gym or get moving or whatever it is that you're doing. So my biggest tip is just to get up and start doing it. And what happens to me typically is that the blood starts moving and I feel actually pretty good. So I keep going with it. Now, given that, there's something else that I want to talk about, and that is feeding the habit that you want to create in your life. And so I'm going to talk about this again in a future Facebook Live, but I just want to talk about the concept of past you, future you, and present you. And so when we have these habits that we want to create, I often think about future Elizabeth. And future Elizabeth, at this point, is me in the future. And, I think about what type of person that I actually want to be. And I visualize what type of habits I'm going to have when I get older. For some reason, I think about when I turned 60. 60 seemed to be a lot older when I first started doing this. Now it's getting a little bit closer. But so I think about when I'm 60, what are some of the things that I want to be doing on a regular basis? And I think about what qualities I'll have when I turn 60 and what I'm going to be doing. And so when I'm low on motivation, I kind of think about that future version of myself. I call her future Elizabeth. And I ask, what would future Elizabeth do? And so if future Elizabeth is doing exercising on a daily basis, then that's something that I want to start cultivating now. Because if I'm not doing it now, then future Elizabeth isn't going to do it either. So as I hope I'm making sense here, that the present version of me is working towards that future version of me and who I want to become in the future. And so I use that as a guiding principle of what is it that I want to become in my life and what qualities do I want to have. And so the temporary, the right now, then doesn't win out over the future because I know that I'm going to reap those rewards later on. Yeah, so in any event, right now it's August and it's hot. And for some reason in the summertime, in August, typically the past couple years, my workouts have really been difficult to motivate to do. So last year I created this series of workouts, which if you're interested in them, they're free. All you have to do is sign up. I'll put the link in the first comment. But it's a series of 20-minute workouts. And they're the workouts that I use when I just don't feel motivated to work out. Because I figure that I can do at least 20 minutes. There's about 10 workouts in there. They're all about 20 minutes long. They're self-paced. So I guess you could make them longer if you wanted, but the idea is to start the clock and stop 20 minutes in and see how far you can get, and every time just start to go a little bit harder and faster. Each of the workouts has video exercise demonstrations, and they're intense, they're short, and they're the workouts that I use myself to work myself out. So I'm going to put the link to those workouts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed my video today on what to do when you just don't feel like you're motivated to work out, because it doesn't happen automatically to all of us. As I said again, motivation is a total lie, and it's not something that you can expect to show up when you really need it the most. So at that point, then you have to rely on your discipline and your habits, which is actually what I'm all about. I think habits are amazing. So again, I am Elizabeth Sherman. I am a health coach that helps folks ease into better health. And I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to message me or put any comments down in the comment section, and I will see you tomorrow.